All right, here we are. Waited till 9 a.m. Pacific Standard because I wanted to cold start the two 911s. 2019 GT3 RS, 2018 911 Carrera T manual with carbon bucket spec the proper way. I'm having a fun time with this review as I've seen a lot of Carrera T. This is specifically on the Carrera T. The RS is the RS. It's a track weapon. That's all it's good for. And you want to go to Javier's high-end dinner every now and then to let some for the viewing pleasure of people as a community service. It's great for that, right? The amount of attention it gets, everyone loves it of all ages. But let's hear this cold start because it's truly something special on both of them. First, we'll go with the RS, and this has Soul Performance exhaust on it. Not too shabby, right? Okay. Now, naturally aspirated, 4-liter, flat six. Oh, we all know the drill. But this one, as I've said, is truly the best 911 Carrera T. I've lived with it for 6 years now. I've got it brand new in 2018, 40,000 miles. I just hit 40,000 miles. And I've just really enjoyed it. Everything from sitting in traffic, in Los Angeles traffic, to canyon driving, to driving from LA to Vegas, to Scottsdale, to NorCal, San Francisco, I mean, everywhere. I've taken this thing on a lot of canyons, Highway 2, or take a highway, but just all a PCH, all the epic drives here in Southern California area, I mean, everywhere. But it's not until I picked up the RS, which was my dream car, and it still is my dream car, and I love it, and I've started falling in love with tracking, and this is specifically for that. Although recently I just acquired a Boxer spec for tracking. As much as I loved it, I'm going to take this occasionally, but really start driving the Boxer spec on the track and get into hopefully Boxer spec racing. But words cannot describe how much I love this car now, the T, because of the RS. I was getting kind of not tired of it, but like I needed to upgrade. I needed to have my RS finally, and got the opportunity to get it, so I got it. And one day in this, I just started laughing that this was all I was thinking about. Get me back in this. And I have it, what most people and car people appreciate this, but I spec'd it with the carbon buckets. And I thought it was uncomfortable, and I dealt with it and convinced myself when I'm in the seats it's comfortable, which it is true. But this has carbon buckets also, but I realized how comfortable this thing is. Due to the narrow body, it's 2018, the narrow body 911 is a true 911. So you're gonna have people say it's not a 993 or a 964, right? Air cooled, water cooled, right? But like, I drive in LA and all around. I love just the more comfort, right? The easeability, the clutch, the shifter. I love everything, how simple it is to drive. That's the thing that I think a lot of people with opinions, they don't own them, or they live in an area where there's no traffic, or that they don't have epic roads like we do here in SoCal. For me, the narrow body 991 is a good blend of old and new. I've driven the 992s. They're great. They're awesome. They're maniac savages whenever you drive them, the power, everything. But for me, the feel just isn't the same. It's not the same feel. So with that being said, let's start the 991.2 2018 Carrera T manual carbon bucket so you can hear the cold start. Here we go. This is normal. for it. Sport Plus. There it is. That's the car I always wanted. Got this in 2001. I told myself GT2, but it was GT Silver, manual, rear-wheel drive, turbo 911. And now I got it. Let me do this walk around now. Okay, we're getting started with the crows in the background. I think it's kind of majestic with the murder of crow behind us. So this is a 2018 911 Carrera T that I did the cold start on. Got HRE wheels on it, carbon buckets, roll cage, manual, a BMC air filter, H&R springs, lowered it, put on H&R springs. It's just been, again, the absolute joy to drive. Everything about it is just epic. Got the Schroth racing harnesses on both carbon buckets. But look at this thing. It is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. White gauges, the 3 pedals. Gotta have that. And I use it, right? Really enjoy this car. I use it all the time. 40,000 miles, right? 40,000. It's truly the best, right? The best. And this bad boy, this is a dream come true, to say the least. But this dream of the RS leaves much to be desired on that one right there. That's the one right there, the T. And unless it is your track only car, which this is turning into for me, right? This is turning into my track only vehicle. It's not gonna beat the T. Got my little sunshade in there. But yeah, we all know what it is. Yep, we all know what it is. It's an RS. I mean, plain and simple. It is an RS. And I've driven my buddy's 992 RS, and it is much more like livable. This one, when I first got it, I was like, is this thing broken? Right? Like, it literally sounded broken. I was like, I screwed up. This car's busted. It's so raw. You feel like the gears grind. You hear the gears grinding. You could almost hear like the fuel being sucked in. Like, it's extraordinary experience. And when you're on track, none of that matters, right? Because you're focused on track driving. But it is a slayer on the track. Slayer on the canyons. Track, traffic. Track, back roads. Track, commuting. Track, daily driver. Like, everything. Date night, right? And I'm the guy that has both carbon buckets on both of them, right? So, with not much too concern for the passengers, but I mean, it is what it is, right? It's a lifestyle, right? But both red roll cages, you could see. Wanted to do this because I love watching the Carrera T reviews, because everyone loves them. And they're most of the time just people who review them. I think everybody at some point has said it's only a Carrera T, right? It's only a Carrera T. It's a step above base, if people even want to consider that, which is crazy because when I got this one in 2018, the base 911 was 99,900. It was right under 100 grand was the base 911. And now on the 992, I think the 2025 is like 135,000, which is crazy to think of. In 6 years, it went from $99,000 base, like sub 100,000, to 135 grand. And that's not even including the new price hike that they just had. A steal, in my opinion, in the sense of what you get for your money. Just wanted to give it for perspective, for it is what it is. But I think it's a matter of time before the 911 community realizes what we actually have here. Like, and this one spec'd really nice. It was like, it was my first Porsche, right? So I wanted one Porsche that could do everything. Oh, that's what I did too, the Tech Art rear spoiler. I wanted one Porsche that can do it all because it was my first Porsche, right? I got great advice from a friend saying, what kind of driving do you want to do? Because I was originally going to get the GT3. And he's like, but he told me about having owned it. He's like, what kind of driving do you want? I was like, well, it's my first Porsche. I don't have the money yet to have multiple. He's like, get one that can do everything. So this one checked the boxes for me, unbeknownst to me at the time how much special I would think it was, but I got it. And some people say, oh, you got manual, which is check, right? Check box, cool, right? Then I lowered it. They're like, oh, that takes away some of the drivability in town. I didn't care, right? Then I threw on the custom HRE wheels, which they are really, really sick, right? Let me show you these bad boys. The custom HRE wheels, right? Brushed metal and then black insides, which is beautiful. It came out beautiful. HRE does a great job. Everybody knows that. And I got, the carbon buckets, right? Why would you do that? But I also got a sunroof, okay, a glass sunroof. And because I was like, I want it to be like a touring model. And if I want to take it on the track, if I want to go cruise down PCH, which I've loved, enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it down PCH. So it was my one Porsche that could do everything. Any kind of driving, because some people say like, oh, you should have made like a club sport and not have a sunroof. But for me, I was like, it's my money. I want one car that could do everything. So if I'm unfortunate in the sense that I can never have another 911, I want one that can do everything. And I've tracked this, I've done it all, right? And so it literally is the one car that can do everything. One thing that I've learned is it is much easier to drive a slower car fast than a fast car slow, I guess you could say, right? Like, I feel so much more confident in this on a track than I do in this. I don't know what it is. And again, my skill isn't anything outside of a weekend warrior that enjoys track days with Speed District here in Los Angeles. And while on that mention, Hector, a big thank you. Hector at Ether Supercars in Costa Mesa, California, the most ethical, high integrity, awesome family man, business owner of Ether Supercars, does all the work on not only me, but on my friends. But if you have a car, a supercar in California, you need to go to Hector out of Ether Supercars in Costa Mesa. He's the man. And so big thank you to Hector for walking me through this 911 journey. But again, I can't wait to hop in and drive it. Cannot wait to hop in and drive it. But just again, thinking of that for what it's worth, if you're looking to get a 911 and you dreamt about this GT3 RS like I have and most of us have, or any naturally aspirated GT model, I gotta tell you, my money's on this one. Like, I could see myself selling this one day, the RS. I can never see myself selling the T. And for what that's worth, hopefully you enjoyed the content. That's just my review of being an actual owner. So, in recap, I hope you enjoy the review. I've been wanting to do it for a long time because I love this car. I think the Porsche community is an amazing community. We all know what we have, what we love about them. But I just think that this car needed a true comparison review where, if we're talking just track numbers, RS all day, right? But the enjoyment that you get out of this one, and I enjoyed it before I tuned it, right? When it was like, what, 380 horsepower stock. It was super fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. And it got to that point where I was like, I need more of it. And I tuned it and I was just blown away. And it is, in my opinion, the best if you're looking for a driver's car, right? Something that you want to drive, right? A manual, full fun, you get up and go, easy to work, don't got to worry about a thing. The T is it. Because remember, it's not just about all numbers, right? And if you want numbers, just tune them and it'll destroy majority of everything on the street in normal driving. The track, obviously, the RS. And one thing I learned too, this is with the PDK, I used to be it has to be manual, I want a manual. On a track, I don't want a manual. I've had this, and the experience of this made me realize on a track that I do want the RS for the track only, because It is challenging. Is it spirited? Yes, but like it's scary and a lot of danger in the sense of you blowing your motor, right? Blowing your motor, right? The money shift, right? That happens all the time with people in manuals. That is a very, very expensive mistake when you do a money shift on a track. And unless you're like a heel toe, like manual rally driver, right? Whatever it is, if you're a weekend warrior and you're getting to the track and you're not getting paid to track, like the manual kind of takes away from the experience a little bit, right? The PDK is a marvel of engineering, how that thing drives on a track and the responsiveness to it. I don't even put it in manual shifting. I just leave it as is and just enjoy it. It's one of those things where I always talk down on people who drove automatic Porsches, and now I'm like, get on a track and then come tell me otherwise. So I have both. Thanks for watching. A little bit out of my usual content, but I just wanted to share this for all the fans out there, as a lot of changes are happening in Porsche. You know, they got rid of the key, you know, electric start now, a digital gauge. These 991.2s are truly perhaps maybe a last of their kind. And the 992, obviously, yes, up until 2025, the speedometer, not digital, that was analog, but now they're all digital. And it still had the key fob, right? But it's much wider, not the narrow body 911. And if you're talking true 911s, most people will tell you the narrow body rear wheel drive manual is in fact a true 911. And they're all 911s, they're all amazing, right? I'm not gonna get mad. I wanna get a Targa 992 and eventually maybe a Turbo S. But if you're talking, I want a Porsche, the 991.2 might be your last chance to have a Porsche. And yes, I understand that the 993 and the 964, right? Those are true Porsches, the last of its kind. The 993 was the last true Porsche. Get the argument of that. But I also don't have time and unlimited money to be able to deal with the maintenance. And when I drive them, I want to drive them. What if something, you know, I need to work on it? Like, I'm not a mechanic. So I go to my boy Hector, eat their supercars, right? But I want creature comforts of the modern day, but still have fun spirited driving. And I drove the 997. My buddy just picked one up. Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. A Turbo S manual, fun. It's not as, for me, as enjoyable as a modern 991. And even the 991, you know, .1, I don't know. The big fuss about the natural aspiration, it's much slower than this, it feels like to me. The responsiveness of it. It's, in the beginning, people were, oh, it's not naturally aspirated, as Porsche doing. I think people realize it's all about the performance, right? As far as the speed of it, the feel of it. And I've heard, I haven't driven it yet, but the new GTS hybrid system gets rid of all turbo lag. And so I don't know if that whole naturally aspirated argument really holds much weight if you actually drive the cars, throw exhaust on it, get a great sound. And that's why I did the cold start, because they both have their own unique sounds. After being, this is the only one, I thought that I want a naturally aspirated rumble. But now that I got it, I miss my whistle, right? I miss the roar of the turbo. I miss the spooling. I actually can't wait to get in there for the sounds this one makes. And again, everyone has their own preference, but this is coming from somebody that has both. And so I wanted to share that. But if you, while you can, because money's always an object for most of us, right? I'm not born rich, I work hard, I just enjoy what I enjoy. And so I have to think about these things, right? Like, you know, why I spec the sunroof in there, and one of the 1911 that could do everything, right? But I think that if you are saving and you want to get into Porsche, I think this secret is going to get out at some point, that the 991.2 generation of rear-wheel drive manual is truly the last of its kind. And we've seen that with 992. So don't look past it, is I guess is what I'm saying. A lot of people are talking going to 996 generation, which is totally fine, right? But the 997, but the 991 is still modern. 2018, 2019. 2019 was the last year of the 991.2. So it's still a modern car with reliability, drivability, good engineering, right? So yeah, I don't know. Interesting times, but nonetheless, Porsche, true driver's car. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, follow, subscribe. Got to do one last look. One last look of those, of the rears right here. Look at that. Good Lord. What a company. What a company. Look at this thing. God, so beautiful. So beautiful.